Hi everyone, welcome to the webinar on National Scholarships and Fellowships for Education Majors. My name is Kate Theobald. I work in the Office of Undergraduate Research, and I am also UWG's National Scholarships and Fellowships Advisor. My contact information is here on the screen, so if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email at any time. That's kate@westga.edu. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Before we talk about specific awards that you can apply for, I want you to think about identifying big goals. The reason behind this is that you don't want to change your goals to fit an opportunity just because it sounds prestigious. There are amazing, prestigious opportunities that are in line with your goals that we can help you to identify. So you shouldn't change your own goals just to fit an opportunity. So when you're thinking about your big goals as we go through different awards you can apply for, I want you to think about what you would do if you knew you could not fail. Is there an issue you would solve or make progress on? Is there a career you want to have? Another opportunity you want to pursue? Perhaps a risk you would take, maybe something that has low odds of success, like say winning a Truman Scholarship where there's only one awarded per state per year, which a West Georgia student has done this year, in fact. So I want you to think about these things that you would do if you knew you could not fail. And then as you're hearing about the different fellowships awards, think about which of those could support you in achieving those really big goals. Also, consider your major and how that connects to achieving your dream. And I want you to think beyond simply, I need a degree in X to get a job in X field. I want you to really think about those transferable skills that you can leverage, that you pick up along the way, simply by being, whatever your major is and taking those classes. For example, you may learn how to think critically, to analyze a situation and make decisions well. You may learn how to write. You may learn communication skills. There are skills like this that you pick up because of the work that's asked of you in your major that are really transferable to a lot of different areas and that you can leverage as you're applying for graduate schools, national fellowships, employment, and other things. Also think about 3 big things that need to happen first for you to achieve whatever that dream is that you've identified. And think about the action steps that you can take in the next year to get closer to achieving your dream. So for example, if you knew you could not fail, you might say that you want to be on the Supreme Court. Not a whole lot of people are on the Supreme Court, so it is kind of a risk, low odds of success if you're defining success as landing a position on the Supreme Court. Well, when you're thinking about big things that need to happen first for you to achieve your dream, that might be something like graduating from law school. But an action step that you can take in the next year is not to graduate from law school. We know that's not going to happen in 1 year's time. However, you could do a search on the internet and find out what the entrance exams are for law school or where the best law school is to go to study the particular type of law that you want to go into. An action step you could take in the next year is talking to one of your faculty members or to an advisor about how you can achieve that big goal. So start with a big goal. Think about big things that need to happen first, how you can leverage what you're already doing, especially within your major, and then action steps that you can take in the next year. Some of those action steps could be focusing on what I like to call the big 3. These are 3 things that you can focus on as you're preparing to apply for national awards. For education majors, those are really leadership, service, and academics. By leadership, I mean holding consistent membership in an organization and having some sort of leadership position or leadership action, at least as a junior or senior. Notice the difference between simply holding a position and actually showing some sort of leadership quality or leadership action, because that's what's going to be really important as you're applying for different fellowships or graduate school opportunities. If you're simply in a position, say president of an organization, you might have been elected to that position or appointed to that position, and then you simply run the organization and you're not really making changes, but you're keeping it going in the same way that it's always gone. That doesn't really give you anything to write about as far as leadership goes. However, you may not have the title of president or vice president or something like that, but you see a need on your campus or in your community, and through this organization that you've been part of for a while, note that consistent membership, you're able to see a need, use the organization, leverage your skills that you already have from your major or perhaps other things you're doing, and actually make a difference in fulfilling that need. Now you've shown leadership qualities and you have something to write about. The next one of the big three is service. You want to give back in consistent, meaningful ways in areas you're passionate about. And you want to establish common threads throughout your applications. What I mean by this, if you're an education major who wants to really make a difference in special education, but all of your service and your volunteer work is at an animal shelter, that doesn't seem like it necessarily lines up. The awards that you're applying to will want to see that you have leadership and have service in areas that are consistent and meaningful to you. So if you've worked with children, especially special needs children in some way, and your goal is to make a big difference in special education, that establishes a common thread and really makes sense for your application. You also want to maintain a strong GPA, and more importantly, a GPA that matches the opportunities that you're applying for. So if you're applying for something that requires a 3.5 and you have a 3.8, you're probably doing okay. But if you're applying for something where the average student who is selected has a 3.9 and you have a 3.8, you may need to work a little bit harder in your application, or you may not actually be qualified for the award. So it's not necessarily about having a certain number when your GPA, as much as it is about having a GPA that matches the awards and makes you competitive for the awards that you're applying for. I did include as a bonus here taking advantage of undergraduate research. When I talk to science and math majors, their big three are leadership, research, and academics, and service is a bonus for them. Well, research is a bonus for you, and I know that the College of Ed at West Georgia has a lot of opportunities for undergraduate research. So if you're taking advantage of those opportunities and working on research as an undergrad, your application could stand out if everything else is equal with someone else who's applying, and push you over the edge and let your readers choose your application, because that research experience can give you a lot of those transferable skills that we were talking about in your major. So now that we've kind of set a foundation for how we're going to approach national fellowships, let's dive in and look at a few that might be interesting to you as an education major. The first is the Truman Scholarship. Now, Truman Scholars are change agents. These are students who are passionate about public service and actually want to make a difference through the work that they're doing now and the careers that they plan to have in the future. So these are the students who not only are working within an area, but they're working to make positive change in that area. There was a recent webinar for Truman Advisors that I was on, and they mentioned that they need more applicants who want to work on disability issues and who want to work in art or music education. So if that's you, and you don't want to just work in those areas, but you want to transform those areas for the better, that you see a need there and you want to work to fill that need, Truman could be a great opportunity for you. Truman gives scholars $30,000 for graduate or professional school, and they also give you this incredible network and other opportunities for internships, employment, and lots of other benefits to being a Truman that go well beyond just the money for graduate school, although that's pretty great too. To apply for a Truman, you do need to be a junior, but if you're younger than a junior and you're watching this and you think that Truman might be a good fit for you, go ahead and email me now and we can start prepping your Truman application as early as your freshman year. There are deadlines first in early to mid-January. That's an internal deadline to have your application to West Georgia, and then the actual Truman deadline is in early February. So the fall is a great time to reach out and talk to me about Truman if you're interested in it. The next opportunity is the Fulbright U.S. Student Program. There's 2 tracks with Fulbright, and both put you abroad for about a year, really as part of the fabric of a community abroad. The first track with Fulbright is the English Teaching Assistant, or ETA, which allows you to supplement local English language instruction and provide a native speaker presence in classrooms. And this is all across the globe. So if there's an area that you're interested in going to get a really unique teaching experience, Fulbright can probably help you fulfill that goal. The other track through Fulbright is Study Research, which provides funding for students to pursue a graduate degree abroad. A couple years ago, we had a student in STEM education who went to the University College London on a Fulbright in order to earn his MED in STEM education. So the English Teaching Assistant track seems like a really great fit for education majors, and it definitely is. But the Study Research track can be a great opportunity for you as well, especially if you're looking at a graduate program outside of the U.S. The next opportunity is JET, Japan Exchange and Teaching Program. This is more of a competitive employment opportunity, and it allows young professionals to live and work throughout Japan for about a year, again, teaching English. Most participants in JET serve as an assistant language teacher, and ALTs do not need to speak Japanese. So if you're interested in Japan and you specifically want to teach English there, JET could be a fantastic opportunity for you. If you do have Japanese experience, you could apply to work as a coordinator for international relations and work as an interpreter or translator, but most JETs are ALTs. The next opportunity that could be interesting for you is the Gilman Scholarship. Gilman is something that you use as an undergrad, and it's a grant program that provides students who receive Pell the opportunity to study or intern abroad. Awards of up to $5,000 for study abroad expenses are awarded each year, and Gilman is something that you'll use if you receive Pell and you're going on a study abroad trip that's at least 3 weeks long. So if you meet those basic qualifications of receiving Pell and studying abroad for at least 3 weeks, there's absolutely no reason that you should not apply for a Gilman. Gilmans are fairly accessible, with about a quarter to a third of applicants actually receiving a scholarship. And we have Gilmans at West Georgia every single year. So I really encourage you, if you are studying abroad and receive Pell, to reach out about applying for Gilman. It's a pretty quick application, and it can have some really big financial gains. The last specific opportunity I want to talk to you about is the Peace Corps. The Peace Corps is for change makers who are ready to make a difference through service. So similar to Truman in that it's looking for change makers, the Peace Corps is more of a service opportunity than an educational opportunity. And it allows you to serve abroad for 2 years, and they go to over 60 countries, so you could go almost anywhere. You can work in any area of service, including education, but there's also agriculture, environment, community economic development, youth development, and several other areas in which you can volunteer. So if you really have a heart for service and you want to be abroad for an extended period of time and truly make a difference in another community outside of the U.S., the Peace Corps could be a fantastic opportunity for you. You can apply for a specific position in a specific country. So you could apply, to work in youth development in Mexico, or you could apply to send you anywhere. And the Peace Corps will take a look at your resume and see where your skills are. And if you're accepted, they'll place you in an area of highest need where that need matches the skills that you have. So you can go either way, applying to a specific country or applying to send you anywhere, which can be a really fun opportunity. Some other opportunities that I want you to know about are here on the screen. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about these because these typically aren't for all education majors. Outside of Madison, it's this third one right here. Madison is a fellowship to fund graduate school for future K-12 history and social studies teachers. So if that specifically is you, please do reach out to me at kate@westga.edu for more information about Madison. Your next steps are to meet with me one-on-one to talk about your goals and what fellowships could help you to achieve those goals, especially if there's a fellowship that you learned about in this presentation today that seemed really interesting. So please do go ahead and reach out to me. You can also attend a future workshop or a Q&A session. We have more workshops that are general, like this one, and then we have some that are really specific to certain fellowships. So for example, there's a Truman Q&A on November 3rd. And our Truman Scholar from last year will attend that workshop as well and answer all of your questions from the perspective of someone who is a West Georgia student who has won the Truman. There's also a goal setting workshop in January and some scholarship writing and personal statement workshops as well that you can attend no matter what you're writing for, whether that's graduate school or a fellowship or scholarship application. If you have any questions at all, please do reach out to me. Again, my email is kate@westga.edu, and I'm here to help you set big goals and then figure out how you can achieve those goals through scholarships and fellowships.